Good morning, it's a much nicer day here in Sri Lanka today. I've been sent this one and I looked at it and I thought, I've already made that video. But no, I checked the date and the date on this article is indeed the 21st of January 2025. So this is a new article, even if it looks like we've heard it all before. German electric car sales plunged by more than a third. The withdrawal of government tax breaks triggers a collapse in demand for EVs. This is in the Telegraph. I know you've probably heard all this before, but we're going to do some of the comments at the end and we're going to add some commentary as well. So basically in Germany, they have stopped incentivizing the purchase of EVs through tax breaks, and oddly enough, that has collapsed demand. It's almost as if the only people that want EVs are the people that have somebody else contributing toward the financing of the cars, which is exactly the same as what's going on in the UK. You know it, I know it. The only people that don't know it are the EV zealots and all of the companies that are making money out of government subsidies. Electric car sales in Germany plummeted by 39% last month as the withdrawal of government tax breaks triggered a collapse in demand. The number of battery electric cars sold across Europe's largest economy in December fell to 33,651, down from 54,654 over the same period last year. This led to a broader 10% drop in electric vehicle sales across Europe as a whole, according to the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, the ACEA. So Germany is down 39%, and considering that Germany is the strongest economy in Europe, it's not good what's going on in Germany at the moment. I did say in yesterday's video that Volkswagen are in some pretty serious trouble. And if Germany's in trouble, well, then all of Europe's in trouble. In total, EVs accounted for 13% of the overall market share in 2024, behind petrol cars and hybrid electric cars, which accounted for 33% and 31% respectively. So petrol remains the most popular at 33%, then hybrid electric, EV at 13.6, and then diesel down at 11.9. Interestingly, plug-in hybrid hasn't come up above diesel, which you would have expected. Plug-in hybrid only makes up 7% of the market, with a diesel around 12. European sales fell off after a surge in deals the year prior, when subsidies for EV purchases peaked at 9,000 euros per car. So in Germany, they don't have the EV sales mandate like we do in the UK, and even without the EV sales mandate, they are struggling to shift electric cars without incentives. I've always said all along, if you want to have an electric car, that's absolutely fine, but electric cars should be competing with petrol and diesel cars on an even playing field, because it's not an even playing field if you walk into a dealer and say, do I want the diesel or the electric? And the dealer says, well, if you take the electric, the government will pay £9,000 towards your bill. That's not competing on an even playing field, is it? That's being bribed to take a car based on taxpayer money. Right, let's carry on with the article. Registrations last year were also hit by manufacturers holding back EV deliveries so that they would count towards new emission standards being introduced by the EU. So EVs were held back so that they'd count towards the new standards. So new emission standards were coming in, and like what we've got happening in the UK, petrol cars are being held back because they need to sell the electric cars. The opposite was happening in Germany, where they were saving the EV sales for when the new emissions regulation came in. That means if you go to the dealer and say, I'd actually really like to buy one of these electric Volkswagen ID buses, the salesman might say to you, well, it's the end of May now, and really we're not going to have one for you until the convenient date when this new emission thing comes in. I'm not sure what the date was. Let's, for sake of argument, say it was the 1st of August. So you'd be told that your car wasn't going to be ready until they could register it on that date, so it would count towards the new emission standards. Demand for EVs crashed across Germany, as separate figures last week revealed that the economy shrank for the second year in a row in 2024. Interestingly, Germany is also importing quite a lot of people that don't have proper paperwork. And funnily enough as well, they are finding that it's not beneficial to their economy to invite lots of people that don't have any skills into the country and then pay for them. They're finding that the crime rates are going through the roof and their economy is sliding. Where else is that happening? There's another country that used to be in Europe, small island, little backwater, run by a WEF stooge, slowly becoming a third. Oh yeah, I know the one. You know the one as well. The scale of the challenge facing Germany's economy was highlighted in a new survey from think tank ZEW, which found that economic sentiment fell from 15.7 to 10.3 in December. That basically means things are not looking particularly good in Germany. Achim Wambach, president of ZEW, said a lack of private household spending and subdued demand in the construction sector continues to stall the German economy. Let's break that down a second. A lack of private household spending, right? People haven't got as much money as they used to, and subdued demand in the construction sector. Now, why would there be less demand in construction? Because your economy is failing. If these trends continue in the current year, Germany will fall further behind the other countries of the Eurozone. Meanwhile, French EV sales also took a battering in December, contracting by 20% according to the ACEA. Like Germany, France is preparing to axe the subsidies for electric cars, reducing incentives to between 2,000 and 4,000 euros based on household income, down from as much as 7,000 euros. It is odd, isn't it? When you remove the incentives on these electric cars, they don't sell. It's really strange. The withdrawal of state support for electric cars threatens to reduce the competitiveness of European models amid an anticipated flood of cheaper alternatives from China. I tell you what, if we think the European market is in trouble with Chinese EVs, wait until all the Chinese petrol cars come over here, because then we're really screwed. Because I tell you what, some of them are looking pretty good. It's very worrying. Go and have a little Google of the MG6. It's got 4 exhaust pipes and it comes in a lovely metallic green. What's going on? You've got MG are making better looking cars than Volkswagen, who've totally lost their way. However, struggles across Europe led to Britain, becoming the largest EV market for the first time last year, as tough net zero sales targets forced manufacturers to offer steep discounts. There you go, we found something that Britain is doing really well at. We are Europe's leading EV market. Excellent, well done, Britain. That is like being, that's what's the equivalent of that? That is like, I'm not sure I'll probably be allowed to say that in America. I don't think I can say that over here. You know, when you had a school sports day when you were a kid, and there would be all of the challenged children, and then you would, you'd have a race, and then the least likely to succeed child got an award. I can't say it the way I want to say it anymore, sadly, but that's basically what it is. Britain has just won. Britain has just won first prize in a shit race. That's what I want to say. Right, let's have some comments, because some of these are really good and we're going to finish on a real strong one. There is no consensus, says David Fern, of scientists about net zero. Most politicians do not have a science background, and so they are easily fooled by a few vocal net zero zealots. Excellent comment, David. Kay says, what does that tell you? This government must start changing direction and allow people to purchase the car or boiler of their choice. If EVs and heat pumps are so good, they will sell themselves. I have been saying this all along. I don't have a problem with EVs. I don't have a problem with heat pumps. Let them compete in the free and open market like everything else has to. Ralph says, Britain becoming Europe's largest EV market. Should the journalist have not pointed out that the majority of sales are to the business community via tax breaks, and that private sales are pitiful? The other bit that nobody ever mentions is Motability as well. Motability car sales make up a massive proportion of new car registrations in the UK, and Motability are heavily pushing EVs. So once you take out company car buyers who are incentivized into electric cars through the company car scheme and Motability, basically there's about 4 people that want EVs, and they're all on Twitter moaning at me. Right, Richard says, and also sales are mostly pre-registration fudge to get around the ZEV mandate. Yes, that's correct, Richard, because if you follow Barry Crampton, as I said in yesterday's video, you will know that 75 Jaguar I-Paces went on Auto Trader just the other day, pre-registered, brand new, with I think it was £33,000 discount. So yeah, things are going really well. Right, let's finish with this comment. It's actually, we're not finishing with this one. I think we are actually. I think this is the last one. Colin Belsham, I think. There are some people who buy EVs because in their total ignorance, they actually believe they are contributing towards saving the planet. I'm not sure there are. I don't think there's that many people that buy an EV because they think they're saving the planet. I think most people buy EVs for financial reasons. Don't have a problem with that. If it's going to put more money in your back pocket at the end of the month because you've got an EV, that's fine. Just shut up about it and don't go all over Twitter saying they're the best thing ever. Don't try and force everybody else to have one. Colin continues, reality is EVs require 5 times the metal to construct compared to an equivalent internal combustion engine vehicle. That's 5 times the amount of mining needed, and the global mining industry uses about the same amount of fossil fuels as the global aviation industry, with green transition for both being equally problematic, bordering on impossible. And it's not just the mining. Once mined, the ores need transporting, crushing, grinding, mineral processing, concentration, smelting and refining, all requiring energy. Lots of energy, just about all of it coming from fossil fuels, and thus contributing further towards greater CO2 emissions. So anybody buying an EV, and all anthropogenic climate change catastrophists need to understand this, has immediately made the perceived problem of CO2 emissions instantly more serious, and the more EVs constructed and sold means the CO2 problem becomes exponentially and progressively worse. Exceptionally bloody brilliant, really. Thank you, Colin, for that superb comment. I do just need to find, I think I've missed a comment here. Just bear with me a minute while I see if it is a save in my folder. It is. Oh, you're in luck for this one because we've found the hidden comments. This one, I don't know what the username is, but they say, and if you're still with me by the end of the video, the code word is red tuk tuk, blue tuk tuk, because that's exactly what just went past. Here we go. It is not overstating it to say that Donald Trump is going to save the Western world. Dumping net zero and other woke poison is going to derail plans for totalitarian globalist world domination through stakeholder capitalism, of which central bank digital currency and digital ID looks to be part. The UN and the WEF Agenda 2030 is headed straight for the rocks. We need to derail the evil can bill here too. If people want an EV, then fine. Have one. If not, then that's fine too. Let the Western world return to sanity. Bring our industries back and stop importing the third world. You are what you eat. What you put into your body is what you get out in terms of results. If you import the third world, you will become the third world. It's really quite simple, and it's happening all around us. That is it for today's EV bashing video. People have been accusing me of bashing EVs for clicks. Well, there you go. I've done it. That's 2 videos in a row. Which is the thing is, it's a bit like shooting fish in a barrel. There are so many articles coming out that explain to us that the EV thing is only going to crash our economy and force us into servitude. Oof, that was close. Did you see that then? The guy went straight through the middle. It's just really obvious to me. And if there is no agenda behind it, then something's gone very wrong. And the only thing that I'm forced to conclude is that there is an agenda, and what they want is Hunger Games, basically. And spending time in Dubai made me realise that we're already there. We're already living in a world where the very, very wealthy have everything they could possibly want, and the very, very poor are just neglected. That's the Hunger Games. I mean, in the Hunger Games, they actually live in different sections of society. Well, I mean, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. So, the Hunger Games society that we were looking forward to is already here. Right. I hope that was a decent conclusion to the video. I hope you didn't mind that. And there you go. That is us in Sri Lanka. We're leaving this apartment, so hopefully I'll find somewhere new to film later on this afternoon, this evening, and enjoy your weekend, because I've no idea what day it is, but I'm pretty sure it might be Saturday. Well, it is here, but it isn't yet for you guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching.